waiting for your girlfriend to get ready.
I blame Dorset handball.
And then she's like, and you haven't got your shoes on late, and she's like, why are you not ready yet?
If you're going to be this late all the time, we'll always be delayed, won't we?
Ooh.
At least you're consistent with shit.
Right, we go.
Am I hosting? Right a little bit.
Excuse me.
Michael, and I'm really ill. I'm so ill.
Welcome back, everybody. Shut up, I'm doing an intro. Alright, I'm doing an intro. Welcome back, everybody. This is episode 2 of, what do we call this? I forget now.
The Futsal Life podcast.
The Futsal Life
Isn't
podcast.
It? Dorset Futsal podcast.
Yeah, alright, something like that. So today we're going to go through England Futsal, FA funding, Olympics, game length, and the Futsal World Cup. But I'm not in it. These boys are.
Because I'm too ill and I can't do that.
I'm really unwell and I don't want to do it anymore. Look at that, you're going to hold it like that the whole time.
What am I doing?
I don't know, should I just do a thing? Right, I'm going to walk away
post or something
and talk to you. This is an angry...
Cut.
Cool. Alright, this has been a great intro.
Should we introduce ourselves? Or do we need to introduce ourselves? No, of course we don't. We're so famous, aren't we, down in the southwest?
Everyone should know by now.
Well, can the host start? Come on.
Well, here we go, guys. Welcome to the Futsal Life podcast.
Dorset Futsal podcast.
I got injured last week. I've been relegated to the podcast. I mean, such is life sometimes.
Relegate? It should be a privilege that you sat here.
I think
what do you mean relegate? Isn't it?
Might need to take this off camera. I think
this is where we have the low. This is the low minutes podcast.
But yeah, anyway, these. Where did that go? Obviously, these two regulars to the podcast. For those of you who don't remember me, I'm Joe from, former goalkeeper, I guess.
Former.
I think that's probably what we call it now, right? I've just been condemned.
Goalkeeping coach.
Life's over. Life's over. Anyway, we're going to talk about...
what a great start.
Yeah, it's not that macabre.
Are you okay? You're doing all right with it?
I just need a hug, really. But anyway, let's talk about something... Let's talk about something...
I'm not a hugger.
Let's talk about something which is a lot more optimistic, which is the state of futsal in England. I say optimistic. Obviously we're getting towards the end of the World Cup, which has been a brilliant World Cup. Maybe you guys at home have been watching the World Cup. I definitely have been. There's been some great games. We've got Brazil-Argentina in the final on the weekend. Who's going to win?
I mean, Brazil looks a bit not shaky, but they didn't look quite themselves against Ukraine. But I think it's got to be Brazil.
Ukraine had a pretty good game plan, didn't they?
Yeah.
Go long. Yeah, direct. Get the territory.
Have the referee on their side.
Don't comment.
Yeah, we had a few comments about that decision, didn't we? But I think Brazil.
Yeah. GC?
Brazil.
I'll go with Argentina just to be
contrary.
Be contrary, yeah. I think they've got a way about them in terms of just winning games, making it happen, right? They win ugly sometimes, Argentina. So
you could argue Brazil did as well after flowing through. Then they had to win the ugly.
It's true, but it's going to be a cracker. I don't think there's been a Brazil-Argentina final so far, so it's going to be a good one. And obviously Argentina, overcoming France, who I mean, they started their futsal team a bit earlier than England did, but in terms of really taking it seriously, France have put in an awful lot of money, the federation, to get the country to the level it has been. They've had a plan, it's been a strategy. I think it's fair to say that in England we've not nailed it. We should be further along than we have been. I think
it's very diplomatic.
Yeah, I mean, let's get into it. So, where's it gone wrong? First of all, and where do we think things are now with England Futsal, looking ahead to hopefully I say hopefully because obviously there's still some issues there, but looking ahead to our return to the international fold later in the year.
I mean, where do you start, really? There's so many things to get into it. I mean, look, we're on the basis at the moment that the England team have the Euro qualifiers in the main round, not even prelims. and one of them, of course, against Spain, but the other teams are going to be some forces as well. I mean, I'm trying not to go off in loads of different directions there, because obviously Australia, I'm thinking as well, like, even the home games, where to play it, and we're then talking about attracting like sort of neutrals or the football fans in this country to futsal. And this is nothing down to Manchester at all. They have to do what they can do. But when you looked at their highlights at the Velodrome Arena from the high up camera, it just, to someone that must be new to futsal, they must be like, what is going on here with the court linings? Of course, no one's saying, Manchester, why have you not got a clean court? They can just use the Velodrome. Hopefully, we can use somewhere like Box Park, where we can get a clean arena, clean pitch, where we can attract these audiences. But again, I feel like I'm just going off in tangents, because your original question is, where's it kind of go wrong? Well, we've just completely started afresh, haven't we? After, what was it, a 5-year gap, and then you hear about, me and Mike Prue spoke about this on this podcast, and you see Cookie and that lot on that other podcast, they spoke to, what's his name again? Mitchell? Mike, what's his name? Steve Mitchell. Yeah. I mean, look, it's hard, everyone, no matter how you're involved with it, us, players, pubbing, futsal, whatever, it's just hard, isn't it? I mean, I just feel like every time I'm reading something or listening to something about how it's been set up or where it went wrong before and stuff, it's like literally trying to push water up a hill.
Yeah,
isn't it? From a footballing country,
even from an optics perspective of, great, brilliant, we've announced the squad, let's get excited for the Euros. Hold on, guys, actually, we can't quite afford it yet. And then you've got individual players putting up GoFundMes. Imagine if you had players at the elite level of football. Cole Palmer, great, I've just been called up to the England squad. Sorry, guys. Just going to put a GoFundMe up to get me to the Euros qualifiers.
So I'm going to come to the defence of England Futsal here. I think we were going well with the FA ultimately for a while.
Sorry, like back.
I'm talking like 10 years ago here.
Yeah.
We were heading in the right direction. National team was qualifying for the main rounds of Worlds or Euros. Can't remember which one it was. And I think if we'd kept on going, we would be kind of looking at qualifying for major championships now.
Right.
I think. But I think obviously the decision to cut the national teams was a dreadful one on so many levels. It was so short-sighted. And I think the decision to not fund the sport properly since then, similarly so. I think that I commend England Futsal for stepping in. I think it's a very difficult set of circumstances, personally, for them to come in.
Of course. Yeah.
So
absolutely.
I think it's not going to be perfect in terms of how everything works initially. I think the immediate goal from my perspective has to be just getting a national team or national teams out, right? And then worrying about how the rest of it goes after that in terms of the wider development. So I think
I just pray that they get those GoFundMes filled up.
Well, this is the thing. When I see that, it's not England Futsal that I'm angry about. It's the FA I'm angry about.
Yeah. I'm talking as an outside perspective, as an optics.
I completely agree. Yeah.
You're announcing a national team.
Yeah.
And then the national team players have to pay for it.
Football is the national sport in this country.
The treasurer is not happy.
Football is the national sport in this country, and yet the FA are not supporting a fundamental version of it. Right.
Exactly.
This is the version of the sport which gave us some of the biggest names in football. It's given us current England internationals, and our Football Association is just letting it decay.
Think about someone like Kobe Manu, who played for Manchester Futsal, how technical he is. Imagine how many more technical players you'd have in this country.
You watch it, you played futsal before. With the ball, with the sole of the foot and then the quick turn when he goes like 180-degree direction. you can tell he's played futsal, but like, because they're tight spaces as well. I always feel like with teams like Spain, look, they did not have a great World Cup, I think it's fair to say, but teams like Spain, they all, for every Phil Foden we have, I'm not saying Phil Foden played futsal, but every Phil Foden we have, they all have 20 of them.
Yeah, but they also taking football out of the picture. Spain have an elite level futsal league, pro players who get paid to play futsal. Like, there's so many talented players in this country. Why couldn't we do the same?
I think also as well with the FA, they've shown that they can build the commercial appeal of a league very quickly. If you look at the Women's Super League, for example, they did a very good job of that. That could have been possible for futsal, but actually what I see now is actually an opportunity. I think what we're seeing at the moment with England Futsal are early teething problems. I think the opportunity that is there is for the sport to be entirely self-sufficient, right? I think ultimately, in the longer run, I think in terms of its own sustainability for futsal, I think if the sport is sustaining itself in terms of its financial means, I think that has to be a good thing. And I think I'm really excited about what these home games coming out could be. I think like England playing Spain at home, if you had it in a decent venue, is going to be a game changer for futsal in this country.
It's so exciting.
So I think this is the thing. I think if those three particular occasions, so the Spain, Bosnia and Switzerland games, those home games here, the first ever men's home games, competitive home games in this country, Spain, former world champions, first ever forward world champion, I think, to play in England, can be nailed, then I think it's going to be super exciting, isn't it? So.
But also actually going over to somewhere like Spain, being like, we are, for the Spanish, the England futsal side is playing at their grounds. It's just trying to make that statement as well. But like Lolly made the point, we're seeing these GoFundMes, and obviously we talk about where the direction of the anger is, of course the FA, but it's just like, we're really in that state.
Need to be this way,
with complete respect to a country like San Marino, we expect that from someone like them. Not England. Let's put it brutally, right? For a sport that's recognised under FIFA.
Yeah.
I mean, look at the Uzbek courts. They're in the World Cup right now. They're fantastic, aren't they?
Yeah,
very nice.
Yeah, the Humo Arena where they've been where I think the final is a proper venue, isn't it? It's good. I think it's for ice hockey as well. So I mean, I think that's probably, if you look at like a country like Finland, for example, almost qualified for Worlds as well. They've got a lot of these kind of venues where they can just double it up.
Well, they love their handball. Is it Finland? The Scandinavian
countries do. I don't know if it's so being.
Well, they've got a lot more of an indoor sport culture.
Yeah, it definitely helps.
We don't really have an indoor sport culture.
Well, but it rains every day. Why do we not?
we like getting muddy.
It's true.
It's mad, isn't it? You've got something like Brazil, it's hot and sunny on the beaches, they're playing indoors.
Yeah. Well, is it, let's think then about sort of, the crossover. Thinking about the crossover between, other indoor sports and futsal. So the original idea behind futsal was that it was a cross between football and basketball.
And polo.
Polo?
Water or? I think it might have been water. Because that's where the goalkeeper rules came from, I think they said.
Really?
It's like the 4-second rules and stuff.
Interesting.
I read it, and there was another sport as well, basketball, I think, because obviously like the court.
Could you have a podcast just on the similarities between polo and futsal?
I think
keep that in the back pocket.
Any goalkeeper rules came from water polo.
Okay.
I could do it against the green and have a little screen.
I might need to
some waves or something.
I might need to revert back to that. I'm pretty sure.
Do it in Bournemouth Beach. I mean,
get your cap on.
So futsal, obviously 2 20-minutes stop clock. Always have 40 minutes. Similar games, if you think about your basketballs, or even ice hockey as well. Short, sharp bursts, maybe like quarters. It's one of the topics which kind of flies around in the futsal community now and again. Is like, should it be like quarters, or should we shorten the game up? Make sure there's more entertainment time potentially. What do you guys think? Could we improve on where we are now? Is 220s the way to go? Like, should we think about changing it?
Well, what was the that they were trying to propose? Was it longer but 3/4? Was that what
3/4?
3/4, like your jeans.
No, my jeans are not 3/4.
This is a 3/4 top.
I'm still waiting on that. It was your proposal. All right.
Well, I said maybe we should look at, you might have to repeat what I'm saying, but we should look at maybe 3/3 or 4/4 or extending the game by a little bit to make it more of a spectators.
For those of you who can't hear there, Coach Mike, he's proposed making the game longer but having thirds or quarters to compensate. So, what do you think? How long? I mean, because one of the things we're trying to find out from people is like what is a good viewing experience? Like,
I honestly, I think it's the court.
Yeah.
In my opinion,
the courts.
No, courts. The court, not having a clean court, having all these lines. I think that makes it a poor from a TV.
You guys are obsessed by lines, aren't you? You love lines. What's it all about? Like,
well, futsal.
I quite like the 20 minutes with a stopping clock.
I think if you're because obviously you're doing a survey about this as well, which you plug into this. You know about it's not just the sport itself. It's, the entertainment. It's the entertainment aspect as well. I think basketball obviously do it well because Americans are nuts about their adverts, but you have like the shows in between those quarters sort of thing, but we're not obviously down like a tier or even tier 1 in this country. We're not quite there. We're just focusing on the game element.
Maybe we need an open mic at half time.
That'll solve it, won't
Like
it?
half time shows.
I mean, given the calibre of talent around here in terms of singing,
kids at the moment, isn't there? Have to be
I'm
frozen.
I mean, the acoustics are fantastic, aren't they?
Yeah. Echo. My view on this is what I love about one of the things I most love about basketball is when you have like the buzzer beater at the end.
Yes.
Right? You have that moment, that kind of clutch moment where teams are like really going for it in the last like minute or so. And like you see, in the World Cup when the games are at high standards for futsal, like you've seen. With the semi-finals the last few days, like teams really hammer at it in the last few minutes. Like I mean, obviously, like Kazakhstan put Portugal out with a goal in the last 30 seconds.
Yeah.
And I think if you had 4 quarters of 10, for example, you might get more of those kind of moments. I think that'd be quite cool.
Yeah,
so I think four tens would be interesting.
It would make it more intense.
Yeah, exactly.
Would you still have rolling substitutions?
Absolutely, yeah. You'd have rolling subs.
Isn't it?
I think you'd have rolling subs. I think you'd probably have to have 1 timeout per quarter, I guess, and then have the fouls drip over for a half, something like that.
Yeah, it'd have to be like
Still.
that.
But I think the amount of, I think if you had a timeout per quarter, the amount of technical information that the coaches could give players in terms of like the quality of the plays that they'd be setting up.
It would make it more tactical with the game too.
It would. I mean, it's already a very tactical game, but exactly. You'd make it even more tactical. You'd have even more kind of like set plays. I think, it would be. I think that'd be a hell of a watch.
It'd be an experiment for sure.
I think other countries have got to do that though, because we're behind, because obviously, Joe, we like our lines here at Dorset Futsal.
We do love our lines.
Yeah.
We've got some lovely lines here.
We got purple, we got red.
LDN, they do tape, don't they?
That's true.
5 minutes for the game.
The dream would obviously be having our own purpose-built venue where we have,
Well, the Dorset Futsal logo right in the middle.
Dorset Futsal hanger.
Exactly, yeah. I saw, I was watching YouTube highlights earlier of Bolton, the venue they've got. I don't know if you guys have seen it. Oh, it's nice. Have you seen it?
Yeah, there's controversy about how big the court is, but
it does look small.
It's a futsal
place
place
that's open.
Yeah, it does look nice though. I mean, it's a nice court, but it does look small on camera.
It's not quite full size, is it?
It doesn't look like it to me.
No.
Yeah.
But just that clean court.
Does look cool.
Is
and
fantastic.
Hartbury as well. The other day, Hartbury was
really want.
Hartbury's a joke for our.
Nice is obviously
Because
LED
disclaimer.
court.
Yeah.
Well, no, I just think you're doing all right when you've got your logo right in the middle of the court. Like a joke is in fair play to Hartbury. It's quality.
Facility, isn't
brilliant. Yeah. You've got cameras behind the goals, in the middle and stuff as well, haven't you?
Pull out stands as well, like your American like football game, like bleachers.
Fair play to them. Like, that's brilliant. But we're not. they're well ahead of a lot of us, aren't
Yeah,
they?
I think it does come down to infrastructure, doesn't it? I think that is a real limit on growing the sport in this country, because you're going away, you're driving 2 or 3 hours, and you're playing on a netball court with goals that are wonky.
Yeah, crazy that.
It is.
And then you get blamed for breaking them.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean,
So we didn't want to play.
thinking then about obviously we talk about like growing the sport, all that kind of thing.
It's great that it's going to be in the Olympics.
Is it going to be the Olympics?
Yeah, so FIFA have elected
News to me.
they want to make beach soccer and futsal as like permanent parts of the Olympics.
Well, because it's in the Youth Olympics, isn't it?
Just track this moment here, because this is where GC has just informed us that futsal is about to become an Olympic sport. So if it doesn't become an Olympic sport, then it's your fault.
It's already a youth Olympic sport.
It is already an Olympic
So
sport.
I
that's
believe
true.
that FIFA are endorsing it as an Olympic
It should
sport.
be.
I'm absolutely going to be Googling this straight after.
We can Google it now.
I've got my phone.
Jamie, pull that up.
I don't have my phone because I'm concentrating on the
Well,
podcast.
See, I'm very professional, so I keep my phone with
while
me.
you're doing that, obviously. Well, there you go, Coach Mike's just confirmed. So I mean,
just kept it quiet from us, but
Sepp Blatter over there has just
Well,
confirmed it
we've
for
got
us. So we're all
it on
good.
the board here.
But I mean, like,
Get some money.
speaking of like futsal in terms of like obviously looking at the Olympics, literally just had the World Cup. Well, we're in the middle of almost towards the end of the World Cup. Like, what have you guys thought of the World Cup?
it's brilliant for me, especially when it's free on the FIFA website.
Yeah, that has been a real plus point actually.
Well, I mean, that could be another talking point another time for the streaming we've got in this country where it's not free.
Yeah.
But yeah, been absolutely brilliant, and you see all these different kind of countries that make it and how they go about against these top nations.
Afghanistan. Who knew that Afghanistan was such a good futsal nation until this year?
I mean, it just. I know obviously football is going to be tactical at it as well, but futsal, if you are tactically on it, and you can really give anyone a shock in many ways.
It's very much been a year for Central Asia when it comes to futsal. If you look at some, I mean, obviously Uzbekistan hosted it, but then like there's been, I mean, like Afghanistan, Tajikistan, Kyrgyzstan almost qualified as well.
Ridiculous.
Azerbaijan were very, very good, but they had a lot of imported, nationalised Brazilian players.
Naturalised,
Qatar had that in the Football World Cup. A lot of them put Brazilian, Portuguese.
There's lots of Chinese Brazilians too in the football.
Who's your who you think has done who's done really well in the World Cup and who hasn't? What shocked you? What hasn't? I thought the New Zealand's holding Spain to a 1-1 draw
at
half time was a fantastic achievement on their part.
I think Portugal getting knocked out.
Yeah, that was
obviously
big,
a shock.
wasn't it? Yeah.
And Ukraine did really well. And when they scored that first goal against Brazil, I was like, that was a cracking goal. I thought maybe. Just maybe.
That Portugal game, I thought Kazakhstan. I thought after being Portugal, I thought, that's it. They're going to go win it now. Didn't quite happen, did it?
No, I thought
Great
for me,
success.
the ones that didn't do well was Spain. I just thought they struggled throughout the whole tournament.
Couldn't break teams down, could they? It was weird.
I mean, Portugal weren't obviously quite, they end up getting knocked out. But I always looked at Spain, I thought that they are struggling to just really get at it. And they got, stating the obvious, they've got good players.
Yeah.
And they even got a brilliant pivot and form with Palmer as well. Just didn't really utilise that. And for me, the one that did well, we mentioned, is France. I just think, I know it's a bit, misleading, I think, saying it's the first time that your footballing country should almost have that step ahead. Doesn't mean it automatically makes you a good futsal team. It doesn't. But we're not talking like, Madagascar's got to the semi-final here. Like, with complete respect, right?
Yeah.
But they have paved the way to show a country like us it can be done and it should be done.
Yeah.
Agreed.
I think also as well, I mean, Germany didn't qualify for the World Cup, but Germany beat Spain earlier this year.
They've got a Bundesliga, haven't they?
Yeah. So I mean, again, it should be said, a country with a very strong indoor sport tradition in the same way that France is. But I don't think that's an excuse, really. I mean, I think there's availability of indoor venues is another podcast topic for sure. But
that's a rabbit hole.
It's not an excuse for underinvesting. I don't think, from the FA's perspective. Cool. Okay. Well, what else have we got here? We've been talking about loads of stuff.
Yeah, but we got Olympics. I just googled it. FIFA have petitioned the IOC to have futsal and beach soccer as official Olympic sports.
The thing is, for me, sorry, Joe. The thing is, for me, with football, you can't always get all the best players there as well. I'm not saying with futsal that it'll be so easy for them. You still have tournaments, but football, teams are just not interested in letting these teams. I don't blame them. It's such a bad time for this in August, isn't it?
So I mean, one of the reasons.
What are you talking about?
Well, I'm saying the Olympics, take out football, put in futsal. To be honest, even futsal doesn't go in. I'd say get beach volleyball, beach soccer in. You know what I mean?
So one of the things which I'd be interested to know how FIFA see this playing out was that I believe the IOC were turning around and saying, well, look, you can't have so many sports, so many players and Olympic Games who are affiliated to one sporting organisation, i.e. FIFA. So you'd have to ditch football in order to have futsal or beach soccer. However, and also on top of that, obviously, they're trying to have a more compact Olympic Games, right? I mean, Olympic Games cost a lot of money. If you bring in futsal, I mean, it's a lot of people, right? I mean, it's a lot
more GoFundMes.
I mean, it's a lot more GoFundMes. It is, though. It's a lot more GoFundMes. And, I mean, it compares to a sport like breakdancing, where it's individuals. It's a bit cheaper, isn't it? So, but I think undoubtedly, I mean, futsal's probably proven its worth in terms of audience and all that stuff. So,
but it suits all weather as well. With football, you've got to have multiple massive venues to host it.
You can have basketball and futsal in the same venue. Handball. Get LED court.
Be cool, wouldn't it?
Have you seen those? I know you didn't mention earlier.
They are sick, aren't they? They are pretty sick.
That's a dream.
Yeah.
Tactically, you would have the advantage with that as well.
Yeah.
They've got the app where you can draw whatever on it. It's like your own tactical board on the court.
It is cool, that, yeah.
Where was it? Oh no, so it was.
There's one in America.
Well, there's one in China. What's the basketball player?
Yao Ming.
It's not him, whoever that is. the American basketball. No, American basketball.
You know a lot about Chinese basketball, right? Do you?
Yeah. An expert in Chinese basketball.
Is it LeBron James? I don't know. He's basically set one up over there, and he's got that. And I know you said there's one in Germany as well. But it's awesome. It's awesome, mate.
So very exciting. It's going to do the right thing, IOC. Come on.
I think
it's enough time.
Futsal was such a exciting game.
Yeah.
When I didn't even know it existed. I remember watching it on Eurosport, peripherally when I was a kid. But I didn't know it existed in this country until last year when Dorset Futsal started.
And now you now you run the money.
Now I 100% legitimately run the money of Dorset.
Sorry.
Juicy's not mentioned this because he's actually going on holiday to the Maldives.
It's not the Maldives, it's the Caymans.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. He's not the Portsmouth game, that's for sure. So
Portsmouth, don't have to worry. Early scam report.
Well, I mean, let's see what the IOC do.
If you've got youth Olympics, you're already one step in. You think?
I think this is probably part of the reason why they're doing it, right? To test it and see how people feel about it. The Youth Olympics, in terms of the lift, in terms of how they organised it, right?
And you can have more. You don't have to. It's like you can have more than one game in one day, of course, etc.
Yeah. Fingers crossed. It would have a transformative effect, I think, in this country for sure. Having it on BBC,
broadcasted worldwide,
and the focus that you'd get from a government perspective in terms of more money as well for the sport, I think. But maybe should we wrap it up there? Should we wrap it up?
We can wrap it up.
Should we wrap it up? We'll wrap it up.
Hey.
Well, I said Box Park.
I would choose Poole Grammar School as our venue. Also Futsal home ground.
If you just can hear Mike, this is a venue for the England team for the Euros.
I'd go Copper Box. I think Copper Box would be an awesome venue.
Is that the one I meant?
Yeah.
So I've been saying Box Park.
Yeah, Box Park.
Get it at Box Park,
right? Yeah.
Whoever Box Park are, you've just got a massive.
Okay.
So
Well, Jamie and I are on the same. Jamie and I are on the same wavelength.
we want Box Park on here.
Okay.
You've just got a massive plug.
That was free. Yeah,
Right.
Yeah,
What? So Copper Box.
Next one will charge.
done. My words. No one picked up on that. You were just like, yeah, that sounds like a decent place.
Well, we could they could.
You talking crap, mate.
That's what it is, isn't it? Yeah.
They could use
absolutely.
Hartbury.
That would be nice, actually. They could use
Stick an
Hartbury. That's
England
not a
badge
bad-
over the
that's
middle.
not a bad suggestion.
3,000 you need.
3,000.
Oh, yeah, there's obviously that, isn't there?
Right, bring some deck chairs.
It's big enough. You probably could fit in a few hundred. But I think Copper Box would be
3,000.
amazing.
That or Box Park, yeah.
I think it's 3,000.
I wouldn't be surprised if they also go back to the Velodrome in Manchester.
I think that's where they'll go.
I think if they got any sense, they'll probably do one in each place. I would have thought, but
I think it'll be.
do a third city somewhere.
I think it'll be Velodrome. Yeah, but we've got to see. They got to announce that fairly soon, haven't they?
Well, good luck in futsal because
Yeah, we're right behind you.
Yeah, it's a lot of work. The
I hope
players.
they pull it all off.
Yeah.
The players right behind, like, you forget about all the controversy and whatever, you've absolutely deserved your place in that.
Absolutely.
And I think what they've done with having a fresh new faces along with, the older faces, I think some on Twitter have admitted that themselves, but you can't buy experience.
I think it is. It's a good blend, isn't it? It's some of the guys who are in there are lads who have been with the national team for 10 years, more, 12 years.
Cookie's
in some
been there
cases,
for a bit, hasn't he?
Ward, these guys like Russ as well, like.
But I think you need them because no matter what standards they might have been with in England, they are experienced in this. You even look at Cookie recently going away with Northern Ireland. Even he was talking about how much he had to look in depth with, footage of other teams and stuff. Just that sort of. Even if it's not know-how, knowing that,
to detail, isn't it?
That attention to detail, like you say, with what you need to do to prepare yourself against these teams.
Yeah,
I think that's important.
Yeah, video analysis stuff, isn't it? It's
Different kettle of fish. Look, Tier 1 obviously is the best stand in our country. You go away to Spain, where they have full house of whatever venue you're going to. That's different, isn't it?
Well, they had, I think for the semi-finals this week, they had just short of 10,000.
There you go. You can't. Yeah. So stupid.
Wow.
Well, I mean, let's see what happens. I mean, hopefully the IOC will make the right decision, as we were saying. But should we wrap it up there?
Yeah. Thank you to anyone that's still watching.
Yeah.
Box Park, hit us up.
Park.
Here we go. The camera's coming.
Wave.
Wave.
Bye.
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 Got the goals out, you two can get the other goals. Oh, yeah. Very good. I mean, Joe was a brilliant host. I thought.
We're still going, are we? Yes, I enjoyed it.
I had a really good time. It was really enjoyable.
It was fantastic.
Please don't hurt me.
We're being held against our will.
I do not consent.